Yo, this is BoxingWave, sitting in traffic, so I figured I'd do a video because I'm not even moving, or I'm hardly moving. But anyway, so I just want to finalize on everything that happened this weekend, with the Broner fight and everything. I didn't have time, so I did a quick video. Like, I had to step outside and do a quick video, okay? But I watched the fight last night live, not live, let me see. I watched the fight last night on television, like on my television, privately, and I enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed it the first time I saw it. Okay, I thought it was a very good fight, a very entertaining fight. One of my maybe top 5, top 10 favorite fights of the year. Okay, now I seen everybody's videos. Like, I seen Tito's video, I seen 78's video, I seen Boxing Beats and Rhymes video, and there's a few things I forgot to mention when I was discussing the fight. Andre Berto made his return. Okay, he put on a good show. He did all right. He did what he was supposed to do. Okay, I seen Steve Chambers fight Eddie Gomez before. I totally forgot who he was until I saw the weigh-in. I was like, oh, I seen Steve fight before. He fought Eddie Gomez or whatever. I think Eddie Gomez stopped him. I'm not sure. But Berto did all right. He did his thing. I have nothing really much to say. I still think he has his issue is his defense. It's just his head is like an easy target because he barely moves it, and he backs himself into the ropes, and he hardly bends at the waist. He barely moves his head. It's like whenever punch you throw, it most likely chances are it's gonna hit him. I wish Berto, I just want to see Berto improve on that. If there's anything left that he can improve on, he needs to improve on that. But good fight, good comeback fight. I believe his birthday was the other day too, so happy birthday to him. As far as the Lucas Matisse fight, it's disappointing because Ortiz, the refs, and I forgot the ref's name, but we seen him. He's very experienced ref. I'm surprised he made a mistake like that. The guy was getting up, and we've seen this happen countless times. All right, I think we've seen it recently a couple of times. The last one I remember is when Malik Scott pretty much did the same thing with Derek Chisora. Similar, I can't remember where the times were, but it was similar. They both got up at around 9.5 seconds. Have some discretion. The ref should have some discretion. Let the fight continue. The guy did get up. Okay, I know his mouthpiece was out, and Paulie made a good point about that. But if it was me, I would have had a little discretion. I would have let the fight continue. I believe it was like the end of the round 2. All right, I think he should have just let the fight continue. Matisse was going to knock him out anyway, but you never know. This guy had power, and he had like an awkward style. And, I think they should have just let the fight continue. All right. Now, as far as Adrian Broner, all right, I did a post-fight video, like I said. It was quick. So I didn't really get a chance to talk about it for too long. You know what? I did a prediction video, and this is to go to like Tito, because Tito doesn't really like Broner anyway. Obviously, he says it. I think you would know what to expect if you had seen Taylor. I don't know if Tito saw Taylor fight. I think if most people saw him fight, maybe at least 2 or 3 times, I think most people would have known that was going to be a good fight. I said in the prediction, I picked Broner, but the majority of the video, I sat there and spoke on how Taylor was going to be a tough fight for him. Okay, and it was a very competitive fight. I thought it was back and forth. Me personally, I gave it 7 rounds to 5 for Broner. All right, you want to add the knockdown in there, it would be 8-5. Okay, but I thought Broner won 7-5. But I knew it was going to be a competitive fight. I've even heard people, I don't know if it was Fair Shake, but it was somebody online that said that they thought Taylor was going to win the fight. All right, and I wasn't even mad at that because I thought Taylor's a good fighter. Okay, what I was surprised was with leading up to the fight, Broner looked physically bigger. And we know he had the punching power advantage, but he looked physically bigger than Taylor. The night of the fight, Taylor looked like he was a little bigger than Broner. So that was one thing that I noticed right away. Like, once they started fighting, I'm like, Broner looks kind of small. He looks not small, but smaller than Taylor. I think Taylor has a slight maybe half of an inch height advantage, but he looked like a bigger dude than Broner in the fight. Great fight, man. I have nothing bad to say because I knew it was going to be a good fight. I thought Broner was going to win. I just didn't think he was going to look good, but he looked good to me, that fourth round. Let's talk about that fourth round. That fourth round was the Broner that I thought was going to beat Maidana. That is the best of Broner. That fourth round, if you just take away the rest of the fight, I mean, even the 10th, the 12th round, the 10th, he came back where Taylor was putting work on him, and then he came back, Broner came back and started doing work on Taylor. I thought that 10th round, but the 4th round he was just outclassing Taylor. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't knock him down in that round. That was the best of Broner. That round right there. Like, that round was the Broner that I thought had a big future in the sport. That was the Broner that I thought was going to beat Maidana, but because he doesn't fight like that consistently. He just doesn't. I didn't check the stats on that round compared to the other ones, but I mean, he was just totally dominating and landed all of his power shots pretty much. Going to the body, going back up top. I mean, Broner's performance was a good performance to me. I did see some improvements. He did use, for the most part, he did stay on the ropes a little too much for me. But there was times where he did use some nice footwork that, I mean, I never really seen too much of before. Okay, so it's small improvements. I mean, the dude just turned 25, I believe. So, I mean, there's some improvements in there, okay? I did like the footwork, I thought at times he was a little bit busier. We know he doesn't usually throw a lot of punches, but I thought certain rounds he was doing his thing. I was impressed with him. I mean, because I thought it was going to be a tough fight anyway. I think Emmanuel Taylor, it's a guy, a lot of people looked at Taylor as another guy like Carlos Molina, okay, the guy that Broner fought previously. And that wasn't the case. I thought Emmanuel Taylor gave a... Look at the Chris Algieri fight. You guys, let me know, who do you think did better against Taylor? That's what I wanted to ask. Who do you think did better against Taylor? Was it Broner or was it Algieri? I say Broner, because I thought Taylor and Algieri was a close fight. Okay, not, I think Algieri won the fight, but it was a close fight. I think the second half of the fight, I think Taylor kind of came back and won the majority of the rounds in the second half, as far as I remember. Okay, I think I still gave the fight to Algieri, but I thought it was a close fight. And Algieri is fighting Pacquiao now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think Algieri could win this fight. So that just goes to show Taylor is better than what most people. I just wanted to put that out there because I seen Tito say, Broner was expected to knock him out. And, this is a guy that Broner was supposed to look good against. I mean, yeah, he's supposed to look good against a guy that I think is a tough fighter. I know if you look at his record and he has 3 losses now, you might say that he's not that good, but he is pretty good to me. At least I thought he was. All right. I like his Broner's post-fight interview. I like the fact that he put the whole Al Heyman thing out there, and he was like, no disrespect, but these are the guys, that I want to be thankful for, because everybody do the cliche, thanks Al Heyman, I want to thank Al Heyman. And then he was very respectful, he showed Taylor a lot of love, and he seemed like a different person in that fight. With being the same, like, as far as the trash talking and everything, he's funny. He's going to always be a character. But he had a little bit of more class at the end of the post-fight, and I was very happy. I was very happy with his performance, his post-fight interview. I was happy. If people want to be upset because, they think that he's being overhyped, I don't think he's being overhyped. I just impressed. I got to show him, just like 78 said, You know, there's times you see my videos where I made about Broner. A lot of them I made a lot of videos about Broner. How I feel. I get it. You know, a lot of things that he do, I dislike, and I criticize for him. But when he does the right thing, I feel like he got to get his credit for it. I enjoy the fight. I even when he was walking to the ring and dancing, I thought it was funny. You know, I thought it was funny. You know, I think he's a character. I think he's a guy that's needed in the sport. You know, so I gotta give him his props. And I got to give him the props for making the speech that he did. I don't know if he was dissing Floyd. I don't know if he was dissing Danny Garcia. But that whole thing where, you know, it's nothing wrong with getting cuts on the eye and being a fighter and fighting the best and stuff like that and being the champions. You know, I don't know if he was giving a shot at whoever. I don't know. But it was a good speech. It was a powerful speech. And you know what? I enjoyed Broner overall that night. All right, so I have no problems against him. Very respectful, a lot of respect for him, and I hope he fights Matisse next. But he's gonna be Matisse as a different animal. Okay, Emmanuel Taylor is good, but Matisse is a different guy. All right. One last thing, I probably do a separate video for this. I want to break down this whole class thing, this A class, B class, because 78 and both Beats spoke on it. I kind of wanted to do one. I was going to talk to Zone 6 because Zone 6, the round table, the fellas from the round table, we were talking about this like maybe a week and a half ago, where we was like discussing classes, like what fighters do you consider to be in what class, like A, B, C, a D class, or whatever. I've said on my channel that I think Broner is a C class fighter. I know he's a 3-time champion, but I still think he's a C class fighter, just judging based on who he's fought. Okay, I just haven't seen enough. Okay, so I wanted to break that down, do a video on that. I believe 78 was on the phone that day too, but 78 made a comment of Broner being a B. I don't think Broner is a B. Okay, but I would like to break down what I think or what I would consider most of these fighters and what class. So I'm gonna do a separate video on that because that might be a little longer. But I want to just give you my thoughts. All right, it's no accurate. I mean, this is a imaginary thought of what we feel fighters are. It's all opinion based. It's all perspective or whatever. You know, who's considered A, B? What makes a person an A as opposed to a guy that's a C or B or whatever. All right, so I'm gonna do a video on that because we actually spoke about this recently over the phone. I think 78. I think Boxing Talk was on there. A few other people, but we were discussing this like last week. All right, so I'm gonna do a separate video for that. But anyway, I just want to give you my final thoughts on the weekend's fights and stuff like that. And Carl Frampton, yeah, I think him not fighting Rigondeaux or not wanting to fight Rigondeaux is not cool. I think I read an article on Boxing News 24. He says he has no interest in fighting Rigo. So Rigo is going to have to go up to 126 because no one wants to fight him. I mean, big win for Frampton. You know, I think Kiko Martinez is tough, but I want to see him fight Scott Quigg and everything. But I would have liked to see him fight Rigo. I think I would have liked to see that fight. I actually would have rather see that fight over the Leo Santa Cruz fight. I think the Frampton fight would have been a better fight. All right, better matchup. Okay, but I mean, if Frampton wants to fight Quigg and everything is cool, but you know, I would like to see somebody try to unify these titles at 122. Okay, so anyway, I'm out. I'm out the park car. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.